Hi guys, it's Wilma. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different to my other videos. I wanted to show you guys all of the art that I made in one semester of college. So these are all drawings that I made in my second semester of college. I'm currently in my third semester. I'm about to be done with it, and I'm taking computer graphics, which is kind of like graphic design. And these are from a basic drawing class. So they're all still life drawings, and they're also mostly all large scale drawings. Some of them were made in class, and then some of them were made at home. And yeah, I basically just wanted to share them because I haven't really posted them anywhere. I haven't really shown them, and I thought that it would be fun to just have a video with all of them. Actually, I'm not going to be showing every single one because there are some that I'm like, I didn't even finish, so I don't feel like there's any need to show some of them, but I'm going to be showing you most of them. So the first part of this video is just going to be me showing you guys like loose drawings, and then the second part is going to be a sketchbook tour because I also did have to keep a sketchbook in the class where I did, you know, smaller, quicker drawings. But yeah, hope you guys will enjoy, and let's get into it. So here's the first art piece. This is a drawing that I made in class. This was my first drawing for this class, and we were basically divided into like a few different groups with 3-4 people, and we basically picked these objects and then we all drew the same thing in the group that I was in. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. It's made with graphite on this like very thin newspaper, but I literally remember making this and being like, oh, this is fun, because I wasn't sure what to expect for this class because it's a basic drawing class and I already have a lot of knowledge of drawing, so I was pleasantly surprised with the fact that I got to do a big still life drawing, and I really enjoy how this turned out. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So here's the next drawing. This is a drawing that I did from home. Also, I'm not showing these in any particular order, but yeah, this was supposed to be a drawing where you took like a very normal object and then through a light source or like angles you were supposed to make it look creepy, and I'm not happy with this, if I'm being honest. I just wasn't really having fun making it, and yeah, I'm honestly not used to doing such big art, so I think that's part of it. It was also all still life, which means that I had to draw the objects from real life, which can be tricky, at least when you're doing like a big scale drawing. So yeah, I was still getting used to everything, and I just wasn't the happiest with this because you can't really see, like this is supposed to be a light source, the shadow going up, and then it's just like it doesn't make sense with where the teddy bear is sitting. Like you can't really, I don't know, it's confusing, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So then we have this. Let me hold this up for you guys maybe. This was a drawing where we had to work with a reductive technique, I think that's what it's called. It's basically where you cover the paper with charcoal and then you erase your subject instead of drawing it. I did also use the pencil still to shade stuff, but yeah, that was basically just some practice to get used to that technique, which I had never done before. I did not love doing these like orbs and rectangles and stuff because it felt way too basic for me. I understand why we did it because it's a basic drawing class, you're just learning the basic of art, but it did feel a little bit frustrating because I felt like I was just so ahead of that, if that makes sense. And I'm not trying to say that to be like I'm above everyone else or anything. I just felt like my skill levels were a lot more developed. So yeah, but it does look kind of cool at least, so that's always something. Then we have this drawing, which I'm also not happy with. This was a in-class work as well, and we just had to use white on black paper. I really have some proportions off in this thing. This bottle is so long, it was definitely not that long in real life, and I didn't even finish it, as you can tell. But I do love doing white on black paper. I've had to do that in my drawing 2 class, which I'm currently taking. But yeah, I didn't have the most time with this either, so that's why it's not done. Oops. Alright, so then we have this still life drawing that I did at home. This was a project where we were supposed to do art that had like signifiers in them, I think. Like you were supposed to use something that was signifying a story, like using signs to tell a story. So my whole thing was about death or life. I honestly can't remember, but like the skull is supposed to represent death. The rose was kind of like the rose was dead, and then there's a Bible here, and then a shell which is supposed to represent the rebirth, I think, or like something like that, I don't remember. And then a butterfly up here, and then the candle because fire represented something within the theme of whatever I was trying to do. I honestly don't really remember, but yeah, I feel okay about this. I think the shadow looks a little bit weird, this part right here, because I had a very harsh shadow on my objects, which created this very harsh shadow. What did I just say? Harsh light. I had a very harsh light on the objects, which created this very harsh shadow. But overall, I think it's fine. It's not like something that I love, but I'm okay with it, and I think it looks kind of cool, I guess. I don't really know. Alright, we're getting into some fun stuff. So for these ones we had to draw interior spaces. So we basically went out into the school, like in the hallways, and we just drew stuff from the hallways. So we did that 2 times. I'm gonna show you guys another drawing, but these were made with Conte crayons, which is basically kind of like, it's not even a crayon, it feels like a pastel, but I wasn't sure what to expect from it because I haven't really done a lot of interior spaces. I haven't really used pastels or whatever these were called, crayons, which doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. So I was not sure what to expect, but oh my god, I had so much fun. So I loved doing a interior space and I really enjoyed the technique. After I had done these, I was like, I really want to try doing more interior spaces. So I definitely learned that lesson from this class, that was something that I really enjoyed doing. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. This is the second one that I did. So I did one before this, which I'm gonna show you guys right now. So this was the first one that I did. It's basically kind of like the same scene as the other one, but they were both drawn in different places. But yeah, it's another hallway. I really enjoyed drawing the doors and the fact that you could see out of the doors. What I like about this is the lighting here, like the fact that the sun is coming in and kind of like hitting the floor and going up on the wall. So yeah, this was the first one that I did. I do like the second one more because I learned some stuff when I did this that I wanted to do differently. But yeah, these were so much fun to do, and I definitely feel like they opened up my eyes to doing interior spaces and just like trying out new techniques. Alright, so then we have this drawing. I don't know if you can even see what this is, but this is basically like a bottle. I don't know what you would call that. And this is drapery around it. So because of the fact that it's like very unfinished, I think it might be a little bit difficult to tell what that is, but I still think it created a very cool art piece, even if it's like hard to read what it's supposed to be. Yeah, I was using graphite for this, and yeah, another drawing we had to do to learn about shading and stuff, which I already know about, so whatever. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was like painted white, this thing, so it created like a very strong contrast with the drapery in the back, which was very interesting. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed doing this one. So then we have this drawing. This is from an in-class drawing session, and for some of them the teacher would set up this stuff in front of us, and then for some of them we could do it ourselves. So for this one I set up my own. Obviously it's not a great setup, but I did it because I wanted to work on kind of like viewing distances, if that makes sense. So this one is in the foreground, and then that one's the furthest back, and then this one is like in the middle of it. And yeah, as I said, I just wanted to work a little bit on the viewing distances, and I also really just wanted to draw these objects, and I actually really like this. I like the way that I shaded stuff. Yeah, I think it turned out good. I really like the light that's hitting here. You can kind of like see the light peeking through there. You can see the highlights on this apple and on the bottle. So yeah, I really like how this one turned out, and yeah. Alright, so this is actually the last in-class drawing that I made. I should probably have shown it last, but I like the other ones that I'm gonna show, and there's not that many left. So anyway, this was another one where we got to set up the still life ourselves, and I decided to just go pretty basic, as you can tell. Setting up a still life is actually so difficult. I don't know if I knew that before this class, but I definitely know that now. So I don't like this part of the drawing. If I would have just done this and not this, I think it would have been really good, because I like when there's like 3 things. I feel like there's a lot of harmony with that. With this thing, it makes it feel very like whatever the opposite of harmony is. I don't know the word, but yeah, I don't like that part. I really like this though. I like the way that I shaded this bottle, even though there's definitely some perspective problems with that, like the bottle cap looks like it's leaning a little bit too much, but whatever. I really like the bowl with the fruit in there, but yeah, I don't like the way that this looks, and I especially don't like it with the other stuff. But yeah, as I said, this is the last thing that I did in class, and I was okay with it. A lot of this stuff was definitely just like practicing. Like the at-home drawings that we did were more like refined work, and then stuff like this was stuff that we did in class just to practice, which I thought was really nice. Although there were a lot of days where I was so tired and did not want to draw, and then I had to sit in that class for like 3.5 hours. which was a little bit painful at times. And it's not like I don't sit and draw for hours, but it feels so different when you're in class and you like have to be focused the entire time, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's this drawing. All right, so this is the next drawing. This is actually a part of 2 drawings. So for this project, we had to zoom in on something. So you have to draw a whole interior space, and this is drawn in my art room, in case you didn't notice. So you had to zoom in on something. So in the first drawing, which is this one, you have to draw the whole interior space, and then you had to zoom in on one thing and draw that closer. And this was basically to kind of like learn about storytelling. I don't know really how much you could tell a story with what I had. This is really all I could draw, and it's not really saying that much. But yeah, anyway, this took me quite some time to draw, and I remember I was kind of dreading it because I was like, how am I supposed to get this done? And I forgot to mention that we had 2 weeks for all of the at-home project, except for this project. I think we had 3 weeks because of the fact that we were doing 2 drawings. So this is all made with graphite pencils, and I really enjoy how this turned out. I think there's a lot of detail to it, which makes it very interesting. I could have done things better, which is how I feel about all of my art. But overall, I really like how it turned out, and that's that. So this is the first drawing, and let's get into the second part of this drawing. So here's the second part. This is the window that was kind of like in the corner of my other drawing, and then I basically just like zoomed in on this. You can see the radiator here, and then yeah, here's the window. There's some shelves on the windowsill, and I'm very happy with this too. Both of these drawings, I mean, a lot of the stuff in my class, this class, but especially both of these drawings were very out of my comfort zone. I had never done still life drawing of a interior space, like a big still life drawing is what I meant to say. And this is obviously very big. These are all 18 by 24 inch papers, so very big. That's like a A2 in the European size. And yeah, so these weren't as difficult as I thought they would be. I honestly can't remember struggling that much with them. I think the only difficult part was probably doing the sketch for these, like making sure that everything was kind of like centered and where I wanted it to be. I found that to be kind of difficult, but other than that, I really enjoyed them. And I think the part with this drawing that is kind of like vague, I guess you could say, is that you can't really, I think it's kind of hard to read the outside, and I don't know if you feel that way, but I think it's kind of hard to tell what is going on. This is basically supposed to be the road, and then the light and the shadow from the trees here is coming in and hitting the road, but I think that's kind of difficult to read. Maybe that's just me overanalyzing, I don't know. But overall, I'm very happy with this and the other drawing, and they were honestly a lot of fun to do. Alright guys, we have reached the end of the drawings, the loose paper drawings, before we get into the sketchbook tour. So this was the last drawing that I did for the class, and it was basically supposed to be a drawing that had some sort of meaning. You were kind of supposed to tell a story with it, and I decided to draw my childhood teddy bear that I've had since I was literally 6 years old. And then I drew a plane ticket, which is from when I moved to America. So if you didn't know, I moved to America in 2022 and I'm going to school here now. I moved from Sweden. So I put my plane ticket there, and then this mug has the name of where I'm from in Sweden. And it was kind of just supposed to be a drawing about like connecting me back to Sweden and to my childhood a little bit. I definitely could have done better, but given the fact that all of these drawings were supposed to be still life drawings, I couldn't use photos. I mean, actually I could use photos for this. You could use like, I think like 50% of it could be done from a photo, or like maybe less. It was probably less than that, but I actually could do some stuff from a photo for this. But I decided to just fully go still life, just because I was like, I don't feel creative enough to be mixing drawing from a photo and drawing from real life. So that's what I did. I didn't feel super creative with this. I kind of just set up some objects and drew them, basically. I think one of my weaknesses is thinking out of the box and being creative. Even though I do think that I have some work that is good in that way, I do struggle with that. But yeah, I was very happy to just be done with this. If you watch my video about it, you would know that I was talking about basically just doing something for the sake of it and being happy it was done. But yeah, I don't hate the drawing. I think it turned out fine. So before we get into the drawings, I do want to talk about one that I actually don't have physically with me. me because it is currently in a art student show at my school, so I don't have it, but I did take a clip of it and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So this was a drawing that I made at the beginning of the semester. It was my first at-home project, and I decided to do this big still life drawing of a plant, some books, and some cups, a mug and a cup. This was the one drawing during that semester that I put in the most effort. I was the happiest with this drawing, and yeah, I really love how it turned out. So it took me like 12 hours maybe, and you were supposed to spend like, I think it was like 8 to 12 hours on each drawing. Actually, I think it took me like 14 hours because I know that I went over the time limit. But yeah, I was so happy with it and I put in a lot of work into that one. Alright guys, so those were my loose paper drawings. Now we're gonna get into my sketchbook. So this is the sketchbook that I had to keep for the class, and we did a bunch of more still life drawings in these, but they are mostly like just one object that we had to do a sketch of. And each week had a different prompt of what we were supposed to be thinking of or doing. And yeah, let's get into it. First things first, I've got a few stickers on here. This one and this one and this one and this one are just like random sticker packs. This one I got at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, as well as this one obviously. And I love the cover of this sketchbook. I think it's super cute. But anyway, let's get into the sketchbook. So this is the first page. For these first drawings, I just had to draw anything. There wasn't really any prompt. It was just draw an object. So I drew this thing that I use for my plants to spritz water on them. Also, I forgot to mention that every week I had to do 3 sketches. So yeah, this is the first one. Then we have the second one, super boring. It's just a shell that I drew. I was just very tired during this time, so I decided to keep it super simple, and I just drew this shell. These are all also still life drawings. Another very boring drawing just because I was so tired and I just needed to get it done. Yeah, nothing special, just a drawing of a scissor. So for this week, we had to do outlines. They weren't supposed to be shaded or anything. I kind of feel like I didn't do that. I definitely, you know, filled it in and stuff, but I just felt like it would look better if I did that. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I was just feeling a little bit rebellious. And then this one is definitely more like an outline, actual outline drawing. This one isn't. I wasn't happy with this one at all, but that's okay. It's just a sketchbook. These were definitely supposed to be like stuff where you just practice. It wasn't supposed to be like good art. I do like this one a lot. I think this turned out very cute, very simple. And yeah. So these are some thumbnail sketches. We also had to do that for every at-home project that we did. You basically had to do 2 thumbnail sketches, and it was supposed to be just to like figure out how the bigger drawing was gonna look. This is the one that I ended up doing, as you saw earlier, but these were both options of what I could do. For this week, we had to do kind of like geometric objects. So this is like a cylinder. This is kind of like a hexagon, I think. It's basically a jar. This is supposed to be a toilet paper roll. I know, such fun stuff, but that's the kind of stuff that I did in here. This is a glass jar, nothing special. This one, however, I really enjoy. I think it looks really cool and I like the shading of it. So yeah, I really like that one. And then for this week, the 3 drawings we had to do, we had to insert the objects in some sort of surrounding. So this is a portable charger that I have, and I just put it on my desk, and I drew the desk and like the wall background, just shaded that. I think that turned out really cute and I really enjoyed that one. And then for this page, same thing, we had to put an object in a setting. So I did this candle holder on my windowsill, which I think turned out pretty good. And then I drew my lamp. So I was basically sitting looking up at my lamp, which was quite difficult, but I think it turned out pretty good. So at least there's that. Then we have 2 thumbnail sketches again for another at-home project, which you saw. I ended up doing this one. Nothing special. So for this week, we had to do this technique where you make the object negative, I guess, and then I don't know, you guys can see what I did. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, so this is a soda can, this is a pen, and then this is a paint tube. And I think these turned out really interesting. I never do stuff like this in my art, so I thought that was really fun and interesting. For this week, we had to work with white on black paper, which I loved. I thought that was so much fun. So I did this tape and I did a candle and a glass. I think these turned out super cute. As I said, I really enjoyed it. I think this one's my favorite. So yeah, I definitely enjoy doing white on black paper, and it's something that I will be doing more of. These were also some thumbnail sketches that I did in class where I was just trying to figure out what to draw in class. Yeah, 2 more thumbnail sketches for a bigger drawing that I did. These are obviously very rough, but they did not have to be refined at all. It was just to quickly do something to see, you know, what composition you want, what objects you want to include and stuff like that. For this week, we had to do like different materials, I guess. I can't fully remember what it was, but I did this glass. That was the material I chose, and then I guess this is also glass, but it's more like a ceramic. I don't know if that's the same thing, I don't know. I don't have a lot of knowledge on that stuff. And then I did a candle, and yeah, obviously, as you can tell, a lot of these are just very basic things, but I honestly loved it. I really like doing just like sketching objects from life. It's something that I have done in the past. Then we just have some sketches from school in the hallway when I was trying to figure out what to draw. Some more thumbnail sketches, nothing special here. Then we had to do some interior drawings, which I was very excited about, I think. I mean, I can't fully remember, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing all of the interior drawings. I guess I like realized how much I enjoyed that, and it's something that I really enjoy doing now. More interior drawings. I really like doing books. Books? This is not a book, girl. I like doing doors. I don't know why. There's something about shading a room, like doing interior drawings, that's just so much fun. So yeah. And then these are more thumbnail sketches for my final project. This is the one that I ended up with. And yeah. Then we have some more interior drawings. I really like how this one turned out. I just think it looks really good, and I love seeing the spreads like this. I think it's so much fun. It's like more special than the sketchbook or sketchbooks where I do refined drawings, because this is like something that I have seen in real life, that I see every day, and it's like in the sketchbook. I don't know, I just feel like it's so special. And then I drew a banana and a Posca pen. I think these were supposed to be foreshortened objects. Not sure if I really did that with these. I guess kind of with the banana. I don't know if I did that with this. I was kind of trying to look at it from like overhead a little bit, but I don't think that really comes across. I do really love this paint tube that I drew. I think that turned out really good. And then for this week, the 3 drawings that we had to do had to be exterior drawings. So I had to draw from the outside, but I didn't actually go outside. I kind of just like looked out my window. This did not turn out good. I am not very experienced with exterior stuff. I find it very tedious. A lot of details and stuff like that. More exterior, nothing special. I don't really like these. I really don't like this one. It's just like, I can tell that I was very tired when I drew these. And now we're getting into the last drawings that I did. Can you tell that it was the end of the semester? It's ridiculous. Like, if you compare these to like, what are we gonna compare it to? To like this stuff, like the middle of the semester, I was like on fire, having fun. And then we get to this. Guys, I was so tired. But yeah, I drew a hair clip and my AirPods, which don't even look good. And then for my last drawing, I literally did just lip balm. And I think that the last few ones we had to do, we could do whatever we wanted, which pretty apparent, because I was like, if I can do anything, I'm gonna draw the smallest thing that I own. So yeah, that was the end of it, end of my semester. And that's my sketchbook. All right, that was all of my sketchbook and all of the loose paper drawings. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.